In high school, my path was set. I knew what classes I would take, what clubs I would participate in. I didn't really have to make any decisions. In college, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I briefly tried pre-med, philosophy, political science. I knew I wanted to make the world a better place, but I didn't really know how. When I discovered that I enjoyed computer science, I had no idea how to reconcile that with my values. There weren't many examples of technology being used for public service or civil society. No one that I knew had any connection to a tech nonprofit. There wasn't a standard path for people like me. I might have given up on tech for good entirely before getting started if I didn't find a couple of opportunities right away. We had guest speakers give talks on campus, and one speaker was at a tech nonprofit. And since, as far as I knew, that was the only singular tech nonprofit in the whole world, I decided to try to get an internship there. And there was a student group that put on a 24-hour dance fundraiser for AIDS, and somebody had the great idea to get the computer science students programming to help out the nonprofit with their website while the dancers were fundraising. So I eventually joined the leadership team for that event. One event and one internship were great, and it was necessary for me to get started, but that alone wasn't enough to keep me on that path. I took some classes on social entrepreneurship, basically business school for nonprofits, and I decided to start my own Tech for Good organization that connected computer science students with nonprofits, basically helping other students who are interested in Tech for Good find their own path. One of the best parts of doing that was that it gave me an excuse to talk to folks. Every time I would attend a talk by some nonprofit leader, I would walk up afterwards and sheepishly ask them how a computer science student might help their organization. But it was okay for me to impose myself on them because it wasn't really about me, you see. I had this friend who doesn't really know what he wants to do, and he was wondering about Tech for Good. I had an organization. I was there to help others, and if that helped me figure out what I wanted to do, then so be it. It was still hard to continue on, though. After a frustrating internship at a disorganized nonprofit and some challenges with the organization that I started, I felt like I just wanted something stable, even if that did mean compromising on my values. And at that point, it was mostly just momentum, just luck, that kept me doing something good. But over time, I started to build up this identity as a Tech for Good person. I offered mentorship to folks who are interested, and I still do. I usually have some kind of conversation every couple months. And it's not just the social pressure, it's also something internal, something about how I see myself. Like before, there wasn't a default path, so it was hard for me to find my way. But now that I have this identity, it's like it's the only path that I can see. When you want to do something good, and there isn't a clear way to do it, it's hard. Feels like there should at least be somebody to tell you, just follow these 10 steps and then you'll be able to make a difference. So if you're searching for a path and all you find is uncertainty, you're in good company. If you decide to continue on despite the uncertainty, if you surround yourself with the right people, take some risks, then maybe one day, in retrospect, everything will seem inevitable, like it was meant to be.